day. Hope you're doing awesome. Today's topic on the world's greatest YouTube channel, Inner Conquest, is how to exit the land of Egypt with its many gods. Now, when you are in the land of Egypt, and by you, I mean anybody, myself included, who is in a condition-based state of consciousness. And what that means is that without a particular condition, you cannot assume or be in a specific state of consciousness. So when you think of fitness, right? My background is I used to own a meal prep company in Tampa, Florida. I wanted to help people get healthy. I saw how people ate, and I thought, well, it's got to be the food that they eat, so let's start a meal prep company. So when I had the meal prep company, people would come to me and they would say, hey, I want my meals to be this, and this. I'm trying to lose XX amount of weight. Could you formulate a diet plan for me? Sure. Now, both me and that person believed that the root cause of that individual's weight was because of what they were eating and maybe some lifestyle factors as well. So what I would witness, some people who were, say, 50 pounds overweight, two people, one person they both eat the same meal plan, one person get better, the other person wouldn't. They track everything, right? So I knew exactly what they're eating, I trust these people. And one person would get the result and the other person wouldn't, right? So why is that? Well, you could continue going down the different list of conditions. Well, maybe their metabolism wasn't right, or maybe this wasn't right, or etc., right? So if you break apart that type of thought process, because everything is a thought process, right? You have all space, which is your mind, and the interplay of your inner mind, everything that is that subtle type of energy, whether it be an affirmation, a visualization, a third dimensional metaphysical construct that you're visualizing, it's all under the category of thought, right? So if the thought process is, in order to be X, I need Y, right? And maybe I don't know what Y is, but I need Y in order to be X. My entire life is a game of always figuring out what's the best Y, what's the best condition, how can I stack all of these external conditions favorably so that the effect will be the wanted effect, right? Now, when you're in the land of Egypt with its many gods, which is a archetypal story portrayed in the Bible, that's what happens. I'm not healthy, I need to pray to the God of wealth, I need to go beef up my resume, I need to do this, and this. Oh, I'm not fit, I need to go fix my diet, I need to do this, and this. Oh, I'm not X, so I need to go get Y. That is being in the land of Egypt of many gods, because as soon as you externalize your power to a condition before you can be something, you've essentially made that condition your God, and you have to please that God. So if diet's your God, if you don't eat your diet, you'll feel bad. You're like, damn, I fucked up on my diet. I didn't do good today. I need to fix my diet. That diet is now your God. If you don't appease your God, you can't get the result. Oh, I didn't get the career I wanted, so now I can't get the money I make. Oh my God, I didn't do good at work, so now I can't have this money. The career is now your God, right? So you go through life serving all of these different masters that are not real. And once you come to the end of that road and you're like, this is stupid, you start to search for the one God, right? And people do that through lots of different avenues, but it all comes down to understanding the laws of consciousness and the laws of creation, because laws don't change. So when you serve one God, what that means is one cause for all effects. When you serve many gods, that's many causes for many effects, right? So in order to reduce your subservience level to net positive of one God, you want to understand what that one God is and what the root of all effects are. So in order to understand what the root of all effects are, you need to understand the root of all causes. And the root of all causes is awareness, accept as true, that will mold itself into reality, move itself from the fourth dimensional landscape to a third dimensional landscape, right? And you can focus in third or the fourth dimensions, and you can give, just like in the story of Esau and Jacob and Isaac, either Esau, your third dimensional sense world, also known as John the Baptist, validity and credibility, your birthright, consciousness, awareness of it, or you can give your Jacob or Christ mindscape, validity, and awareness. So when you go through this process of reducing your servitude to many external gods, what happened is, because of the tracks that have been laid from many years of indoctrination to those ideals, principles, and external things, you will have to basically fast from them, right? And that's where people like take it literally, like in order to fast, you have to forego food and do all these other things. You can do that, but it's really more about withdrawing attention, right? And the easiest way to focus is to ignore everything else. So when you decide to serve one God, and you want to create an effect, you want to create the correlative cause, and it's important to understand that all effects are caused by states of consciousness or states of being. And if you're unconscious about the states that you're in, then life seems and appears to be very random. There seems to be a lot of craziness, and because it's so chaotic, you go to the external world and try to do scientific method and all these different things to deduce why things are the way they are. When in actuality, the whole external world is simply an effect of the state that dwells within you, mirrored out and reflected in a third dimensional hologram that essentially shows you who you are. So when you go from many gods to one God, you're essentially, like Neville Goddard says, buying the pearl of great price. And what the pearl of great price is a pearl that is so expensive and so worth it that you have to sell everything else. You have to sell all of your other beliefs. You have to sell every single belief in an external power to buy the pearl of great price. And the pearl of great price is so valuable that it can purchase anything else in the entire world. And you ask, what is so valuable that it's worth selling everything else? Well, the pearl of great price is the ability to consciously create anything you want through the law of being in a desired state. Because if you can be in a desired state, then that state, which is occupied by yourself, is impregnated by your presence in it, and has to produce the correlative manifestation in the third dimensional world. So when you go through this process of releasing all of your beliefs in second causes, and you go to the root of a primary cause, you're really understanding that the state of consciousness in which you dwell is the manifestation factory of all effects in the world. And your ability to occupy a state is unconditional. You are able, through the process of birthright, able to go into any wanted state and occupy it, live in the wish fulfilled, persist in that state, and harden the assumption of that state into fact in your external world. And what that does is it gives you absolute sovereignty over your third dimensional reality. And what that does is it basically alleviates all of the nonsense that we spend so much time doing in order to get what we want. It gives us a direct, mainline, powerful solution to create our reality in the way that we want to create it. So don't serve many gods, serve one God, which is the state of the wish fulfilled, which is your Jacob, your Christ consciousness. Don't give the birthright to Esau. Don't give second cause or power to external circumstances and say, no, things are this because of this. Things are this because of a state that you're occupying. And if you can take that personal responsibility, which may be a little bit difficult at first, but you let yourself off the hook, because if you're unconscious when you do something, you were never able to, change it even if you wanted to, because you weren't aware of it. So now it's great because you're aware of it, now you can change it, so it's no big deal. And give power to states, which can be akin to attitudes, moods, you could call them emotional grids, energetic fields, etheric constructs, the real substance of the immaterium that manifests into the material. And you'll be able to shift pretty much any person, place, condition, or circumstance that you'd like to shift without placing your power in a false idol. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want coaching, you know where the link is in the bio. Other than that,